Welcome back. In this video we will look at functions that have arguments. Okay, so let's define our greeting function again. So greeting, or let's call it messenger. Right? And now I will actually put something inside the parenthesis, and let's call that something message. Okay, now this thing called message, I will call it a parameter. Okay, so message is our single parameter. So we will assume that message contains a string, and so I want to print message. Okay, so we no longer are hard coding the message, we are getting the actual message to print from this parameter. Okay, so what is the actual message? Well, outside when we're testing or calling, okay, let's not say testing, let's say calling. When I'm calling the function, that's where I will include the message. So I could say user message is welcome to America. Okay, and of course when I call the function messenger, I will pass in user message. And I think you all should know by now that user message is simply another name for this hard-coded string, welcome to America. Okay, so I could have easily taken this string and put it here instead. Okay, but I chose to put it in a variable and then use the variable. Alright, so notice it's telling me it's a string, and up here, right, it's telling me that it will get a string. Okay, so when I run this program, we see welcome to America. Now this thing here that I change and I give to the function, we call it the argument. Okay, so the argument is the actual thing that I will pass to the function. So the argument actually is used as a replacement for the parameter. Alright, now I could extend this function by saying not only do I want a message, I want a count. How many times should I print this message? And so I could easily say for int I in range, okay, count, right, I will 1 2 3 4 print message. So remember, if count is, let's say, 4, then I create a loop that will print 4 times. So if I now click play, we see a message. It says error. Alright, so what is int doing here? Okay, for I in range. Okay, and once again we get an error. Now Python is smart enough to tell me that I am missing one argument, and it's telling me the word count. So I have two parameters, one called message, one called count, but I only have one argument. So I need to include another argument. So let's say that I want this thing to be printed 3 times. Okay? So when I click play, it prints America, welcome to America 3 times. So one thing to take away, the number of arguments you have that you're sending to the function should be the number of arguments that you are expecting. So in other words, it should have the same number of parameters. 2 arguments, 2 parameters. 5 arguments, 5 parameters. N arguments, N parameters, where N could be any integer. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. In the next video, we'll take this code and we'll step through it using Python Tutor so that you get a better understanding of how arguments and parameters actually work. I'll see you then.